It's Jake from Geedup, and you're watching Take Flight.
Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Wings and 24 Karat Kev.
Hello.
And you're tapped into the Take Flight podcast, bro. Today, we got Mr. Play for Keeps, Mr. 3-in-1, that's 3 million in 6 hours. Yo, aka the Cotton Don Paco, Geedup in the building. What's happening, brother?
Thanks for having me, brotro.
Come on, bro. Thanks for sliding through.
What an intro.
Yeah, he's been working
You've
on
done that
this
before,
without
eh?
telling
Bro, I haven't,
Were you
honestly.
practicing that in the mirror this morning?
I did, bro. I sat down like, what are the 3 key takeouts of this one? All right, we got it. And it's all true.
I've got a bit of wind in my sails after that.
No, bro. First of all, good to see you sliding through in the Lambo, of course. Fresh.
Had to, bro.
Fresh, bro.
Had to.
Also, quick late happy birthday to you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Happy birthday to Paco.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you,
got no
brother.
cakes here. We got
Another
no
one
cakes,
down.
but are we allowed to talk how old you are these days, bro?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, of
let's know.
course, man.
How old are you, man?
34.
34, bro.
Fucking
Looking
hell.
Well, it's
good.
getting away from me a bit, man. I like to think I stopped aging at 30, but
Yeah,
34
look-
and looking 24, brother. Come on.
it's-
Yeah, 100%, bro.
that's it.
All right, we get straight into it, bro. Look, as I just said to you before the podcast started, I watched your Ice one yesterday. So we've heard the past Geedup story. We've heard a lot of those things. So we're going to try to keep away from that.
Yeah, cool.
But early life, bro, look, we've seen your mum and I've seen her across the years over Instagram, that also in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
Was she always in that side of things or was that a
Nah.
fresh thing?
Nah. She kind of followed my lead, man.
Okay,
yeah.
so you
Now,
inspired her.
Mum started off as a photographer. And then she was in the fitness industry for maybe 10 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only just recently, probably in the last 2 years, she's gone into the bespoke suit space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bro, she looks like she's killing it too. I drive past her shop all the time.
Yeah, she's doing well, man. She's doing well.
How do you think your mum inspired what you're doing now, bro, from a young kid? Obviously, she wasn't living that life. But
No, you know what it was? It was just the work ethic, bro. I remember
Okay.
times where, like, you know, mum put it all on the line to give us the best possible life. Do you know what I mean? We came up pretty rock in Warragamba. Then we moved to my mum and dad split up. And then we moved to Penrith, and mum put the effort in, bro, to give us a good start. And I think it was just watching her pull 10, 12-hour days, and then she'd go out coming up to the Christmas period, and she'd be delivering you remember the Yellow Pages phone books? She used to load up the van full of them and deliver them of a night time. Do you know what I mean?
Beast.
So she'd be out for 5, 6, 7 hours after work doing that, just to get the extra cash in, just to give us, that the extras really. So I think that was the biggest influence on mum's behalf, bro. There wasn't a fashion influence or anything like that, but it was definitely her work ethic, bro.
beautiful, bro.
So she was still a photographer at that time?
Nah, she'd stopped photography, gone into group outdoor personal training.
Oh, hectic.
So yeah, she was doing pretty physical work for majority of the day, coming home, slapping some food on the plate, and back out in the van that she had for the PT session. She'd empty all the weights out of that, load it up with I don't know. I have a fucking idea where she got the phone books from, but she'd obviously pick them up from a depot somewhere. They'd load it up, and then bro, just delivering phone books.
Yeah, work ethic crazy, huh? Work rate crazy.
Yeah.
One thing I haven't seen you talk too much about, so you did talk about your dad in a past podcast and he wasn't really around. Was that early on in life?
Yeah, bro. Memory, so I've got a bit of a blurred memory of my childhood. I think it was year 5 they broke up, end of year 5, or could have been end of year 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe end of year 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to ask about, because I was in a similar situation as yourself, as what
Yeah.
I've seen, is that you grew up with 2 mums at some point, bro.
Yeah,
I've
bro.
seen
yeah,
you talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, they're still together, man. 18 years strong or something.
Hey,
like,
shout
20 years
out, bro.
strong.
As I said, grew up in a certain situation as well.
Yeah.
So from your point of view, bro, how do you think growing up with 2 mums and not a father figure around influenced how you've become today, bro?
Look, man, there was definitely masculine energy that was missing from the household, bro. Definitely. I seek that out of my uncle. I had a very close relationship with my uncle. So, having 2 mums has its pros and has its cons. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. But I was blessed enough to be able to forge a relationship early on in my teens with my uncle, and he taught me a lot, bro. So that missing masculine energy, I found in my uncle. I also seeked it out in the street life, bro. You know what I mean? Kicking with certain crowds, and I had a lot of older friends around me and older boys around me. I spent some time around bike clubs and shit like that as a youngster. But it's hard to answer the question. We've got to go back to it, bro, because like I just said, that masculine energy I found elsewhere. So
Okay, all right. So
I don't know, man.
Missing? Yeah, no, that's cool, bro.
it wasn't
Makes
really
sense.
missing for me.
Yeah,
it could have
awesome.
been, and I could have ended up on a different path. I don't know.
100%, bro.
But yeah,
Nah, look, the path you're on looks great to me, bro.
yeah,
You know
bro.
what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, man. Aside from your family, as long as I've known Geedup, which is a very long time, I've seen you connected with the Australian hip hop scene out here, bro. From way back. Yeah, you're connected with the drill new wave scene we've got out here, but bro, it's been forever. We're talking Hefs early on,
Yeah.
Lazy J you're with early on, Lee,
Yeah.
Monroe, LOC,
Yeah,
Daves,
yeah.
you've been doing collabs and all that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
How did you first form that connection between Geedup and the Australian local hip hop scene?
Well, I've always been about hip hop, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like before there was Oz hip hop, I was listening to like Brad Strutt and shit like that. You know what I mean? Before Blitz and SO days. So I've kind of always been around it and had a passion to listen to it and you know the culture of it. So it only made sense to align the brand with it. And before there was a hip hop or Sydney hip hop or Sydney rap scene, we were behind it. You know what I mean? So and then when the scene kind of blew up, so to speak, it we just grew in tandem. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
But you know, in hip hop, bro, I feel like it's so very multifaceted. Like you know, you got your b-boys, you got fashion, you got graffiti, and you got rap. 4 of my passions, bro.
All
you
in
know what I
one.
mean? All in one.
Yeah, beautiful,
I
bro.
was never a great breakdancer, but I did try.
Look, after this, we can get footage of you trying to do a windmill or something out
I'm
here.
way
Come
too
on.
old for that shit. I'll do a hip.
Hey, bro, the Hefs collab, obviously, the Hefs link up, the Hefs
Yeah,
connect, obviously was a big one between two because it's been from like day one, I'd say.
Yeah.
How did that? Bro, here we go. How did that relationship form? Was he just someone you knew from back in the day, or
Yeah, we knew of each other, bro, when we had a relationship just from being out west, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But Sam Hef's brother was always a big supporter. He used to come through the Parramatta store and stuff like that. And he was actually into photography. You remember the whole Urbex stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam was right into that, man. And he used to shoot some content and stuff for us and come through the shop and chop it up in the Parramatta days.
True.
So that's how that all kind of like, you know, started to really form. And then when Hef started doing his music, there was just, you know, obviously natural support from us and from me. I thought it was fucking great that he was doing something like that. Do you know what I mean? And then it kind of went from there. Hef did some jail, and then he came home and Sam brought him through the shop at Surrey Hills. We chopped it up again. You know, tried to give him some advice. I'm not sure if it was adhered to or if it carried any weight, but you know, we've always just had that friendship. Yeah, so when we closed the business down in 2017, came back 2019, I just reached out, bro, and I was like, look, let's put something together.
And that's where the collab pieces come from back
Yeah,
then?
yeah,
man.
yeah.
That was good to see. But from the start, it's good to see the growth together, you know? Like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah,
growing in
yeah,
tandem with each
definitely.
other was awesome,
Yeah.
bro.
So like Wings mentioned before, a lot of people know Geedup for, you know, being associated with this, you know, huge current drill movement that we've had since 2019, 2020. But again, like Wings mentioned, there's been some big hip hop links you guys have been supporting for a long time. So we're going to go through 3 artists that we've seen kind of linking with Geedup over the years that people might not know about. So the first one was, I remember seeing a photo of the Kid Leroy on Flinders Street.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Tell us the story behind that, man.
Mate, well, Zig brought him through, you know. Zig brought him through when I don't think he'd even released that first track that he dropped the
Blessings
Bloom
one?
Up Blessings. Yeah, I don't even think that was out yet. And yeah, Leroy used to just come through the shop, bro, and he'd just spit bars in the shop and we'd throw some hoodies on and shit like that. And, you know, back then we were just kids as well. I mean, not kids of his age, but yeah, he came through and as I'm sure everyone did, we seen something in him. And tried to support in any way we could. You know, share his music, share his content out to our database and stuff like that. So that's how that came about, bro. Yeah, it was wild. It was so wild to see that. I think it was 16 months or something, 18 months after that, it was gone.
Global.
Yeah.
Global.
You're still going to have those photos of him standing outside Flinders
Yeah.
Street store. I've seen them.
Yeah.
We're going to put it here if we can find it, but
Yeah.
it's somewhere in the archives. International now. I remember there was some sort of link between Geedup and Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah, bro. Freddie Gibbs came through. So he come through when he was out here for a tour. And he just reached out. Their team just reached out, come through the shop and drank way too much Hennessy, smoked some pretty big fucking blunts. I didn't. He did, man. That man can smoke, bro. Wow. Yeah, Freddie Gibbs came through. I remember when I first listened to his track Thuggin' and then seeing the visuals to it, I was like, yeah, this is fucking hard. You know, and then it was only like 3 or 4 months after that he was in the shop. So that was a bit of a spin out.
That was early days too.
Early days, bro. Yeah, I think it was 2015, 2016.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next Geedup story in Gary, Indiana. Freddie Gibbs is going to drop past.
Yeah.
And another group, the first people who I actually heard say the phrase Geedup from the feet up was actually Just One from the Fundamentals.
Yeah,
so this is, you know, classic, I guess what you would call nowadays, classic Australian hip hop.
Yeah.
And you guys had something going on with the Fundamentals too.
Yeah, bro. That was actually, I can't take any credit for that. That was Bo's link. So when Bo had more involvement in the brand side of things, he linked up a lot of those acts out from, you know, in a West and stuff like that. Yeah, that was his connect. Good lads, but I always loved their music as well. But that was more so they were Bo's friends. Yeah,
100 many links
Since
between Geedup and the rap scene
100%.
since day one, man.
Yeah, man.
You just mentioned before as well that you know, Geedup went through a bit of a hiatus, but since the comeback, I've noticed that, you know, you yourself as a person, as Paco, has definitely been more front facing and much more of a kind of public persona when it comes to the whole Geedup brand. So, when was the decision made to, you know, have you kind of at the front of the brand, and what do you think it's played in the kind of like ascension of Geedup to, I guess, unprecedented levels nowadays?
Bro, I would have always liked to pre 2017, but you know, life choices had me not wanting to be in front of the camera as much. So the idea had always been there, you know. So when it came back 2019, that was from the jump that get in front of the camera, communicate with the audience, stay on ground zero with the audience, do you know what I mean? Stay connected, stay plugged in, dialed in. So that was always the plan from day one, from when we first came back. And if you go back through the Instagram back to 2019, you'll see that, yeah, I was smack bang in front of the camera just from the day we relaunched, yeah. Yeah. And I was able to, you know. 2017 was the year Harper was born, and I turned a corner. I left a lot of other things alone. And just focused solely on dad life and the business. So
yeah, bro.
Yeah, and made it possible.
I feel like, yeah, sorry, yeah.
I was going to say, like, one of the big elements of that was the walk and talks. You know, you go around and answer the fans' questions, people asking for a restock. I don't know how many times people are asking for restocks, and you've got to say, no restocks.
Still happens.
Hey, guys, no restocks.
No
That's
restocks.
it, bro,
Limited. All right, so jump on. But I remember one heaps funny thing that happened was you were on a walk and talk once, and someone just sent in a question and said, what do you think about Asians? And you were just like, what do you mean, bro?
I do remember that, bro. I think I was walking past Alexandria Park. Yeah, so I do remember that.
You must get some wild questions in there, bro.
Oh, bro, look, the walk and talk used to be fun, man. And hopefully we can take it back to that space. But I think with the rapid growth of the brand, people don't give a fuck about what I've got to say anymore. They just want to know when the hoodies are jumping. Okay. The jumpers are dropping, sorry, the hoodies are dropping.
And when you're
Because I do a walk and talk now, it's just like, when you're dropping. I'm like, bro, can we get to some substance? But, bro, half these kids are 14, 16, 18, 20, do you know what I mean? And they don't give a fuck about anything I've got to say. So I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but look, it helped build, I think, what it was today, because not only can I imagine what engagement would have done.
Yeah, it was through the roof.
Yeah, through the roof, man. But I got to know a bit about you and the brand, especially early on, because it was all fresh, it was all new, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's other brands that do the same, and it's good to see, like, it was good to see you do so. You know, Street X, you got Gucci, face of the brand, absolutely hilarious, man.
Yeah.
These days, Cortez with, you know,
With
Clint,
Clint,
crazy, bro. Also, Gucci, when we get a celebrity boxing match between the two of you, bro, because I want to see it happen, bro.
Everyone wants that, man.
We got to see it happen one day,
Everyone
bro.
wants that, man. I don't know, bro. If he gets a flush one off me, I'm taking the gloves off and biting him.
Yeah, look, I guess that's why it can't go down.
Yeah, probably not.
We're not trying to see the end of the relationship.
Nah. We might make it happen, bro. It could be something good. I don't know.
I seen Gucci talking a lot of smack on Instagram, boxing shirtless, shadow boxing shirtless at Complex Con, all the way over in Perth. He's 6 hours over, but I think it needs to happen, man. I'm just saying.
We'll come through with it one day, bro.
Yeah, we'll make it happen one day.
Speaking of your hiatus, bro, pre that period, Was there any mistakes or lessons you learned, I guess, that you've carried on and you've always thought about since that?
Yeah, bro. When we shut when I shut the business down in 2017, I spent probably a good period of those 18 months, nearly 2 years, just dissecting the business, where we went wrong, the mistakes we made, and what lessons could be learnt, because I wasn't learning them back then. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck it, try again sort of thing. I never gave it the time and attention to learn the lesson in the loss. There was a lot, bro. There was a lot. And I think probably the biggest thing that while me, Bo, and Mark were all under the same roof, you remember Mark?
Yeah.
The brand didn't really have an identity. You know what I mean? 3 young lads, full of testosterone, ego-driven, pulling the brand in 3 separate directions, Bo's style and approach to fashion is not mine. My style and approach to fashion is not Bo's, and neither will Mark's. So I think it did lack an identity, and that's probably might be hard to conceptualize right now, because you think back then Geedup, hip hop, you know what I mean? But in a fashion sense, it lacked identity, you know what I mean? There's a long list, bro. I could probably sit here all day and chop up the lists of things we did wrong and things like that. But
that was a big one.
That was a big one. And customer experience, I didn't really, we'd do a drop and I was like, we'll pack the orders next week. And then I'd be on a bender or something and be like, fuck it, pack it next week. And then I'll be recovering from the bender and I'll be like, fuck it, pack it next week. And then before you know it, it's 21 days out. And people are like, fuck this, I want my money back. So, just sharpening my tools in business, not just designing a hoodie, and the customer experience starts from the moment they see a leaked flat lay of the product. That's really when they tap in. They've already mentally checked out. They want it, do you know what I mean? Then that customer experience goes all the way through to the day it lands on their doorstep and they put the hoodie on their back, and that feeling they get when they put the hoodie on the back, do you know what I mean? We weren't focused on any of that. We're just focused on doing the release.
Yeah.
So once I started to put focus on all of that and nurturing the customer experience from start to finish,
Yeah, fair, bro. Good lesson to learn, I guess, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, talk about things being on time with the customer experience. First of all, your packages come so fast, can we just say? But not only that, guys at home, artists at home, we've got to learn. Paco is the first guest to arrive half an hour early, bro. If that doesn't explain who you are as a man in one
Man Law 101, brother.
Tell him, bro. Tell him, because there's that's a big thing, bro. It's a big thing. I'm always early everywhere. Kev's getting good.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Kev's good.
I'm jet lagged.
All right.
You mentioned there in the hiatus as well, you learn a lot of things in the business side, but you kind of alluded to a couple of personal things as well, in the sense of maybe before that you're hanging around the wrong people, being in the wrong places, this and that. So how hard was it for you to kind of let go of those people or that kind of lifestyle and solely focus on the business? Because we had Younger Lips on here a couple of weeks back, and he kind of mentioned kind of being in a similar fork in the road, you know what I mean? And once he kind of fully focused on the music thing, that's when he saw things kind of blossom. Yeah. So was that hard for you to kind of undertake that?
Nah, man. Once Harper was, once I'd been blessed with a child, I always knew that something drastically had to change. But without talking too much on it, bro, I took a lot of losses in that life. I was happy to walk away, bro.
Okay.
With empty pockets, a few wounds, a few scars, you know what I mean? It was easy for me, bro. I don't miss it. I still got a lot of close boys to me that I always hold dear to me. I owe my life to a few of them. So the relationships are still there, but I don't know nothing about what's going on anymore, bro. I'm so far away from it all, and life is fucking great because of it. Oh, yeah. So no, it wasn't hard to just go, and that's it anymore. To be honest with you, I knew it was always it was killing me mentally, emotionally, physically, but I was drawn to it, bro.
That's what happens with a lot of people, bro. That's it. They're drawn to the life.
Yeah.
And no more benders.
I think probably taking us back to where we got from before, probably because of the lack of masculine energy in my home. Yeah.
There you go.
Looped back.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah. That's all right. Good moves, but either way, bro. Great moves. we talked before about, Geedup's relation with the Australian hip hop scene, especially the new wave of artists now, very connected with it. We can't go to a show these days without seeing 20 to 30 Geedup hoodies, team logo hoodies, doesn't matter what it is. Obviously, this logo hoodie changed everything. That's just
the first one, bro.
I had to wear it today. Had to flex number one, bro.
That's the first one.
But yeah, obviously it's everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what do you think it is between Geedup and that scene that has become so synonymous between the two, bro?
The relationships that we've built with artists aren't bought, And I think that transpires and translates through quite clearly to their listeners and our consumers, do you know what I mean? I think if you buy the loyalty of your audience or your artists or your athletes or something like that, it's much like a poker machine. You got to keep feeding it 50s before it pays, do you know what I mean? But the brand loyalty shines through, do you know what I mean? So I think the consumer sees it as a place to belong or a team to belong to, something to belong to, something to wear with pride because of the way it's worn by us and by the music artists that they listen to and look up to and things like that. I think if these relationships were forged over a check, it wouldn't be the way it is, And that comes part and parcel with building from the ground up. And that's what we're doing in the UK and US at the moment, We've been out there for about a year now, and it seems like a slow crawl, but it's all by design.
It's all on its way, bro.
Yeah.
Great description, bro.
Yeah.
I think you touched on something really important there because I think especially as hip hop and, streetwear and sportswear becomes the in thing over the past couple of years, especially we've kind of had this movement of influencers, micro-influencers on social media. And it's very obvious, like you said, you can tell when someone's just doing a hashtag ad and, they put this jumper on for a picture and they take it off and put it in the closet and never see it again. And I think nowadays, authenticity is the most valuable asset you can have as a brand because there's so much influencing and so much trend-driven things happening that once people see something's organic, they latch onto it. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that Geedup's done really, really well. And like you said, hip hop, it might be the cool thing now, but these guys were doing it back when no one gave a fuck.
And you're still supporting them at the same time too. You're right. You built a full lifestyle that people want to be a part of, in my opinion, too, bro.
Yeah, well, just unapologetically us, bro, and stayed in our own lane. We never reached out and banged on doors for collaborations. Please work with us. No, fuck all that noise, man. We just stayed in our lane and steam trained through.
Hell yeah, bro.
I think like what Kev just said, that not falling into the traps of outside influence. Trends come and go. This all comes and goes, but Geedup's forever.
Hey,
Geedup's forever.
Here we go,
bro. Hey, man. Speaking of the local scene and the artists you're supporting, you obviously are very tight with some of them.
Yeah.
We also to the point where you're in that Rover music video with the boys.
Bro, I was so dusty on that clip, man.
We brought it up with YL as well. Obviously one of the biggest early international links of this movement.
100%.
Big track.
Any more music videos, bro? Any more co-signs from yourself in these music videos out here? Well, we're going to see your face again, bro.
Oh, I don't know, bro. Maybe. I think there might be a bit of a feature in the. There's a new track coming out from RV, Hetty, and Abra. Play for keeps forever and always. I know it might be featuring there, bro. I might be popping away in there
There's
somewhere.
a link, bro.
That's an exclusive.
That's an exclusive right there.
Yeah.
Good link too, bro.
Yeah.
You gonna start rapping?
It's never
Bro,
too
I've
late,
got bars, man. I've got bars.
Brother, I
can write.
Just
can't rap.
I've got the perfect segment for you to give it a shot. Sky Sessions filmed right here, bro.
Fuck up.
One day,
Bro, I can do most things, man, but I'm not even going to attempt it.
You can ghostwrite for a couple of rappers out here, I'm sure, bro.
Yeah.
But you've done a couple of collaborations, well, more than a couple, with artists, sports stars, a lot of things, bro.
Yep.
For artist-wise, we talked about Hefs. You've done Blue Boy. You done Elo Lee back in the day. Who else you done? Massey Rook? Did you do one?
Yeah,
with
we
Massey?
did. We've done Massey. Yeah, bro.
Are there any other collabs in the works that you can talk about?
Yeah, bro. 2024 is mapped out big.
Ooh, all right.
Very big. We've got one spot left that I want to fill with that, because how we've mapped that out is Q1 collaboration, Q2 collaboration, Q3, Q4. We're mapped out with 3 international artists for first, second, and fourth quarter. I'm waiting for someone to get home from a holiday back here in Australia, and we're going to discuss a Q3 collab. Yeah.
We're dropping any names?
I can't yet. It might ruffle feathers.
Okay.
In case it doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know certain people are under certain management and stuff at the moment, so
yeah,
we'll leave that alone.
No, all good.
But 2024 is going to be big on the
big
collabs,
year,
bro.
big year. Is there any collabs that you would be like a dream collab for you in this day and age? Is there any artists worldwide? Really, I guess, bro. You're growing every day.
No, and not because that might sound arrogant, bro. And I don't mean to be, but no. I'd to touch on the ideas of our collabs, it's because we're so immersed in the hip hop culture. I don't feel that it's right that we're piggybacking off their music and monetizing off their music without cutting a check every now and then. Do you know what I mean? So artists make their money off streams, YouTube, tours. A lot of them can't tour at the moment. They can't do Australian shows and stuff like that. So yeah, our collaborations are more so a way of saying thank you. We see your work, we see your effort. Let's chop it up. And we usually do quite a fair revenue share split on a collaboration, bro. We cut a decent check. So when you talk about collabs, I'm reaching out to my own community, man. I'm not trying to reach into someone else's and, trying to pair the brand with the biggest brands in the world. And, I mean, that would be great, but it's not on the plate for me at the moment, bro.
It's not what you're built to do. Yeah,
No.
true, bro. One story I have to quickly talk about is one thing I've appreciated and respected you for from like day one. Like you said, you supported Artist A. I obviously used to make music. We don't talk about it too often. I always was like, come on, bro, we need more jerseys. I'm a big fan of jerseys, all right?
Yeah.
I've had since the day one that basketball red Geedup across there. Still wear it to this day, so quality is crazy. At this point, I wasn't really making any music. And I said, bro, when are we going to see some jerseys? Summer's coming up. And your response was, hey, you get back to making music and we'll do a collab jersey, right? Look, I only went and released one song after that, and so it never happened. But to see, you in the background pushing myself, who knows what you're doing with the other artists, but to see that you're there trying to push the culture in that way too is also something to be respected out here, bro. Yeah, bro.
I think you probably talk to majority of the artists around us, and similar conversations come about, when any one of the boys do a bit of a lag and they come home, I'm pretty quick to see that they're home, get behind them. Good to see home, get back to the music. When we get more music. And you know what? I like to be able to get in the car for an hour and listen to an artist. Not just a single, not just a track and then we're going to find something else or a playlist. Like, Bally Boy's home and I want some fucking more music, bro. You know what I mean? I'll just run through his Local Lunatic album. This morning, actually. Straight Out the Mud is my favourite, bro. That's actually my it's the unofficial, official release day track. I have that blaring in the car on the way to the office on release day.
Heck.
Yeah.
Hectic.
So you talked about Hefs before and a couple of other rappers who you've kind of sat down with after they've done a stint in prison and kind of just set them on the music path. So when did you first notice you were kind of getting into that role, I guess, of I don't know if you call it a mentor, but just kind of like making sure that they're on the straight and narrow after they do a stint in prison? Or was that a conscious decision that, you wanted to be that person for them, or?
I wouldn't say conscious. I didn't sit down one day and think, you know what, I'm going to go do this. But, bro, I lost a lot of friends at a young age to murder and jail. And I did make a conscious decision back then. I didn't adhere to my own advice in those early days, but I definitely did think to myself, if what are their lives and what are their laggings worth if I'm not learning from their mistakes and their losses. It took me about 5 years to adhere to that advice and take that advice on myself. And then so when I did, I kind of looked around and I was like, too many boys are going to jail, too many boys are getting shot and stabbed and, losing their lives. So I think the conscious decision happened for myself when I was younger, and then kind of translated into like once I kind of turned a corner, I was just like, boys, there's no life in it, man. And look, I don't care how you butter your bread, bro. I've still got people around me that are rocking and rolling and and doing their thing. But if you're blessed with a talent, man, get the fuck out. Get out.
Preach.
Get out.
Preach.
You know? Yeah. If that's the only way you can butter your bread, bro, go hard. Do your thing. Go as hard as you have to go. You know, you got to put food on the table for the kids. But, you know, if you've got a God-given talent, bro, and you're putting it to waste because you're in the street far too many times than you're in the studio, I don't like to see that, you know. I don't like to see that.
And I think the important thing to note about that is that a lot of people, they might not know that they have this talent until the right person comes along and brings it out of them. You know what I mean? A lot of people probably think, fuck, I have to be doing earns or doing this and that to make ends meet. But, you know, it only takes one experience or one chat with someone or one person to come around and really bring that out and be like, you know, what do you love to do? What did you love to do as a kid? How can we make this into, you know, a career for you? How can we, you know, turn your life around? It's really important to have those people around to really bring those talents out, I think.
Yeah.
Preach,
yeah. No, it is. You know what, bro? It's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. I'm not going to talk about the number, but I got a number. you know, in those text messages you get, 3 bags for $7.50, shit like that. You know those messages? But I'm 8 months sober now, and I was driving home and I got the message on a Friday. I was like, you know, who the fuck's this? And I just got chatting to him. I was like, how old are you, bro? He's like, I'm 21. I said, how long have you been doing this for? He goes, since I was 15. I said, oh, yeah. I said, has this been you forever? I said, because I've been getting these messages for you. He goes, yeah. So we got chatting. And then I said, what do you want to do with your life? He goes, I want to start a streetwear brand. I said, oh, yeah, no. I said, no way. I said, who's the biggest streetwear brand that you know of in Australia? He goes, oh, Geedup for sure, 100% Geedup. So I'm sitting in my Rolls Royce. I took a selfie and I sent it to him, and he bugged out. I said, listen, bro. I said, you ever want to give the game up? Come see me. I said, I'll put you on when you want to start a streetwear label. He goes, yeah, I'm just trying to get enough money together to start. I said, you know what? As long as you got an end goal. Do you think? I'm not, you know, I'm not going to be on anyone's back about doing their thing. But he had an end goal, you know what I mean? He hasn't reached out yet. No. But, yeah, bro.
Still stacking, bro.
Still stacking. Still getting the bread.
Hey.
Yeah. That is a trip out. That'd be crazy.
That's a crazy story, bro.
Yeah. I don't know what come over me, bro. I was just like, you know what, man? This guy's always trying to push bags on me.
Plot twist, it was Gucci smoothie the whole time. So one of the things that we've seen since the comeback of Geedup, you guys used to go on Instagram Live. I think your drops are 6:30 p.m. on a Friday night or something, and you guys would kind of sit there, set the products live, and just refresh the page until it sold out. And usually it was a couple of minutes, this and that. Yeah. Does that feeling ever get old?
Nah, man. Nah, it's still because look, as the business grows, you know what an MOQ is, minimum order quantity. Your MOQs get deeper. You got a lot more on the line. So I remember dropping 100 hoodies and I'm selling out in minutes, and you go, "Fuck, that's mad." Mm-hmm. Well, we're catering to the rest of the world now. So without putting too much light on how many hoodies we drop, we sometimes chew through 20 ton worth of stock in 5 minutes. So no, that feeling never changes. It actually gets bigger. Like when the penny drops, it goes, shit, there goes 20 ton.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Do you remember the first time you made $1 million in one drop? Like we're talking in a night, I guess?
Yeah. I remember the first time, man. It actually happened my birthday, 2020. Okay. We did our first $1 million month. Mm-hmm. And then it was the month after that, we did 850 in the first hour, 860 or something like that. And I was spinning. I was like, fuck, this is beyond me now. It's out of my, I felt like I'd let the reins go when it just took off. Yeah, I remember the first one, bro, and then it turned me into a beast, and it was actually a bit detrimental to myself in the business, because it was like, okay, that sets the standard now. Mm-hmm. Has to be $1 million a drop. And yeah, bro, I kind of spiraled a bit there, man, for about 90 days, 120 days, where I was like, if we don't get it, does that mean we're failing? Does that mean we're slipping? So it was pretty fucking stressful, bro. It was pretty stressful. And then once I kind of wrapped my head around that, because you remember, when we first relaunched, bro, I relaunched with $14,000. I was broke, I was stealing my food. I'd go to Woolies with like $10 and self-service checkout, load my bag up. So I was doing it pretty rock.
I remember you at this time too.
Bro, it was only 18 months later or something, I got millions coming in. So it was a lot to wrap my head around. The first time was exciting. The second time it was nerve-wracking, because I was like, are we going to do $1 million? If we don't do $1 million, am I failing? Am I slipping? Do people not love us anymore? Do you know what I mean? So it was this fucking crazy experience, and I kind of wrapped my head around it and kind of got a grip on things. But yeah, from that day forward, bro, We very rarely just see $1 million in the hour now. We kind of sit around that $2-3 million mark in
Man,
the first hour.
3 milli, bro.
Yeah.
Now, so you're telling me it's more exciting now? Because that was my thoughts. I was like, I wonder if it's the same to get a milli as it is to 3 milli. Like, obviously, levels up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously,
yeah.
the numbers leveling up, but in the end, you're kind of expecting it now.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah. I'm happy with the norm sitting around $1 million and a half. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it never drops below that anymore. You know, not every drop is 3 million, but you know, winter one, spring one, summer one, autumn one, they're the biggest ones. They usually take right off. They're a whole lot more stressful. We've got 4 web stores now, bro. So we've got a US one, we've got a UK one, we've got an Australian one, we've got an NZ one. So you've got to load stock to all of them. Got to unlock all of them at the same time. Customer care is so much bigger. Like, there's so many more moving parts. I'm trying to find the fun in it again, but it is just fucking high stress, bro. High stress. But it's very fulfilling to, you know, I spend most of the weekend sifting through email inquiries, the inbox, and just seeing feeling the energy from the messages people send through. You finally got on, you know what I mean? I've tried for the last 4 months and soy sauce out. I've got my first hoodie, and I was just like, that's the more fulfilling part now, bro. Money's money, man. It doesn't change much. It honestly doesn't. I've got all the money in the world, bro, and I've still got my demons and still got my problems, bro. So the excitement isn't driven by the revenue. No, it once was. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, when you do that transition from poor to multi-millionaire, that's exciting. But once you're in that multi-millionaire kind of space, it's just like, the excitement's not driven by revenue anymore.
It's your people that excite you.
It's my people that excite me, bro.
I like it, bro. I like it.
No more unwashed potatoes scanning through the Woolies.
No.
Salmon fillet, unwashed potatoes.
that's
Steak,
it.
unwashed potatoes.
That's it.
I think the important thing there as well, something that you touched on, is that, you know, you mentioned you're doing multi-million-dollar drops now, 2-3 million, whatever. You could very well go out there and print 10,000 of these and make fucking
A lot.
way more than that, but you showed a lot of restraint. So talk about that, because I think that's an important lesson, not only for people who want to start a brand, but also artists, you know what I mean? You don't really want to give everything out straight away.
Well, you know what it is, bro? It's there's a difference between building a brand and building a business. If I wanted to build a business, I would have done exactly that, inflated the revenue, and tapped out and sold, you know? We're valued at about 45 million at the moment. I know if I turn the taps on, that valuation would be probably closer to 100 million. Takes a lot of discipline to do exactly what you do, to not do exactly what you just said. You know, the most we ever really drop of a hoodie is 2,500, maybe 3,000. Very rarely we do those numbers. You're right though. I could have dropped 10,000, time and time again. But that burns the brand out. Everyone's got it. No one wants it. Too readily available. You know, blah, blah, things like that. But people wear this brand because not everyone has it. I know everyone has it now, which is another thing we've got to try and juggle. That's why we're focusing so heavily on the overseas market. But, yeah, that discipline has also helped us get to where we are now, because it was that discipline back in the day where I was like, no restocks. When I was poor, bro, I had custody battle fees. Like, I upwards of $200,000 I owed my family lawyer when I was fighting for custody of my daughter. I could have just done exactly that, restock or do more. But what was more important above all was building the brand, the sense of belonging, and that exclusivity of feeling like I got what not many other people have got. Do you know what I mean? So it's helped, but it's also, I feel like it's caging us in at the moment. But it's a safe place to be in.
100.
It's more than paid off.
Yeah.
More than paid off what you've done, man.
Yeah.
So for the past few years, Geedup has been exclusively online. We just talked about the drop ritual you guys have. But back in the day, there was also a brick and mortar store for Geedup in Parramatta. And we heard that might be coming back. So what's happening with that?
Yeah, it is. We were over the next 12 months or so, we'll be announcing 3 store locations: Soho, Los Angeles, and Sydney. Yeah,
Beast.
It's exciting.
Whereabouts in Sydney?
It'll be in the city.
Oh, in the city.
It'll be in the city. Many of reasons. Some I won't talk about on here, but it has to be in the city, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what inspired that move back to brick and mortar?
My first trip out to LA, you know, bricks and mortar retail is dead here in Sydney. Sydney's neck's been cut, but do you know what I mean? Nightlife's fucked. Everything's fucked. When Frank Lowy sold Westfields 6 years ago, he's a king of retail. I was like, okay, something's happening. There's a shift. I'm out. You know, I've got no interest in retail stores. That all kind of spruced back up for me. My first trip out to Los Angeles when I seen people line up at the front of Supreme, Fight Club, the shoe reseller, shit like that. I was like, all right, there's a vibe out here. But we can't just do Los Angeles and not Sydney. Went to London, and Soho is like what Sydney used to be 10 years ago on fucking steroids. People are shopping every minute of the day. People are out every minute of the day. I was like, okay, this is a buzz. Makes sense now. If I do Los Angeles and do Soho, they're going to, in a business sense, make sense to do. Sydney might not be so much because the retail buzz is dead. But then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I don't need retail buzz. I've got my own community. As long as the business model remains the same. Mm-hmm. If we've got no stock, the shop's closed. We're just going to lock the doors. You know what I mean? Mm. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to do our drops online and in bricks and mortar on the Friday. And yeah, really give everyone the chance to conceptualize visually what the true size of this beast. You know what I mean? It's very hard to conceptualize just on an online store. But I think once we've got 3 stores worldwide and we've got kilometre lines wrapping around the block, it'll paint a much clearer picture. And that's the reason why we bring the stores out. Plus, on top of that, I want to be able to get back into the community, bro, get back on ground zero. There's only so much you can do on social media, replying to inbox and stuff like that. I didn't want to just do pop-ups. I wanted a home base in Sydney, home base in Los Angeles, home base in Soho. So,
I can't wait till day one opening, bro. Take Fly's going to be on ground at that kilometres long line, bro. That first day is going to be crazy.
The council's going to fucking hate you. But
it's going to be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Any insights onto like anything you're going to be doing different to make the customer experience, like the IRL one, like a bit different? Because I just came back from LA, like you said, it's crazy out there, and you know I went to Kith on Rodeo Drive, like everyone does. But you know they have like little things in there, like they have like a little ice cream bar at the back, and they have little flavors named after the items or some shit like that. Even stuff like that kind of makes everything like a bit more fun, you know?
Yeah, we've got a long list of things, bro, to really change up that customer experience. You know. There won't be any shopping from the shelf. Won't dive too much into that, but there will be no shopping from the shelf. It'll be all packed out the back. Do you know what an RFQ code is? I think it's RFQ. Anyway, there's some technology out at the moment, bro, that we're going to be incorporating into the store and stuff like that. I'm not going to take credit for this, and I'll just put my hand up for it. I got the idea from Marathon Clothing, where Nipsey Hussle had and still has an app where instead of scanning a QR code, you can scan a logo on a hoodie in store, and you can have artwork load to it. Or in the Marathon sense, they were loading snippets of unreleased music and stuff like that. So all that type of customer experience, bro. We've got a long list of things that we're going to be doing. Food, no.
Hey, bro, talking about the Paris store, you've been doing some wild things since way back, I think, to connect with people and to get your name out there. One thing that I was impressed by now that I think back about it is the NWA Straight Outta Compton premiere, bro. Yeah. I think that's a wild thing to have done, especially so early on in the brand. How did you link that? Because that was like Geedup hosted NWA Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Man, I was snorting way too much cocaine and eating Xanax, Steve, and trying to remember how that came about. To be honest with you.
Fair response.
I can't. So I'm not going to sit here and try and
all good.
And
can confirm. Good event though. So I do remember being there.
Great event. Yeah, it was a great event. I was high as a kite.
All good, bro. We talked about the Rover remix before. Yeah, and Geedup's involvement. You've been making your way into UK, as you've talked about, and you've mentioned these artists before. But how did your connect start with like RV, Abra? I think is Heady One.
Yeah.
Where did these connects come from?
All props to RV, man. That's all come from RV. We've been in conversation for about 2 years now, just back and forth. Just like he's actually a brother of mine now. You know what I mean? He's a friend. Do you know what I mean? I see a lot of the boys as mates, but me and RV we got a good relationship. He's got a young kid, so do I. You know, so we connected on a different level outside of the brand. But Yeah, man, that's all RV's doing, bro.
Okay.
I'll give all props to him for that, man. He had actually Crep Shop was sending him shoes. Crep Shop asked if we wanted to send him a hoodie. He reached out to us directly. He's like, I've been watching you guys. How do I get more of it, right? I said, bro, I've got you. Started loading him up, do you know what I mean? So that's how that came about, bro. And then when we landed over there, like, I've been listening to Hetty and Abra for years, you know, like I'm well attuned to their music. And that clip was, that campaign was just meant to be RV. RV put it together with Hetty and Abra. Yeah, so that was, but that's the type of brand loyalty I'm talking about, you know what I mean?
That's it, bro. He believes in it, obviously, and I can still see them posting about it daily.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
Cool, bro. Cool, man. Tapping into the UK, what can you see from what you've been over there? I'm sure you've done your own knowledge, background checks of what's going on over there. Are there similarities or differences between, you know, Australia and the UK markets right now?
Bro, the UK's our big brother.
Yeah.
Our fashion sense follows theirs. Our music follows. Bro, what we had drill here for 5 years? Bro, they've been drilling for 20 years. You know what I mean? Nothing that comes to our shores is new. It's all come from up there. I'm telling you. Bro, the whole lad culture stems from the chavs. You know what a chav is? And that Cockney slang and stuff like that. It all comes from up there, bro. They're our big brother, really. And anyone that says otherwise is delirious. So there is a big, there's a lot of correlation between the two, most definitely, bro.
Is it going to fit in just fine?
Just fine. Just fine. On a much bigger scale.
100%, bro.
110 million people, bro. And that's the hardest thing here. We only got 22 million people here, bro. So, you know, reaching the roof here and then being able to go over there and it just fitting in like a glove, you know, is good. Makes things a little bit easier for us, but yeah.
100%, man.
So you guys also been doing some work over in LA in the US. And now I believe you're working with AJ from Crooks and Castles.
Yeah, bro.
So you're not into streetwear unless in 2007 you're on Karmaloop on your family computer or ordering a fucking cocaine and caviar singlet from Crooks and Castles or something like
bro.
that. You know what I mean?
Amen, bro.
If you know, that's if you know, you know thing.
100%. 100%. You're not about streetwear if you don't know who the fuck Crooks and Castles is.
So how is it working with someone who was so formative to the whole streetwear landscape as we know it today? And what role is he playing in the expansion of Geedup?
Again, bro, me and AJ have had a relationship for the better part of like 8 years, 9 years, you know, probably even longer. So let me take you back to the Crooklyn days. So before we had the Geedup store at Parramatta Westfields, there was like 9 months left on the lease. And I was just like, Geedup's not strong enough to have its own store yet. So I opened up Crooklyn store. Had no intention to own a streetwear store, but the model behind that was to have Geedup on the shelf next to all the brands I already love, hoping that my audience would be like, oh, okay, yep, cool, Geedup's on that level. I couldn't get a Crooks and Castles account. I just wasn't big enough, do you know what I mean? Didn't have the funds to either. So I was doing exactly that. I was buying from Karmaloop in bulk and selling it on the shelves, making no money on it. I was just getting the money back. Crooks and Castles on the shelf then. And it was AJ that I was talking to all way back then about trying to get the brand and then start my own brand and this and that. And Crooks and Castles was my biggest influence, bro. 100% biggest influence. So, you know, AJ was kind of like this mentor, you know, and he always gave props. I see what you're doing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then I won't get into what happened with Crooks, but, you know, the business was sold and kind of everyone started doing their own thing. And then I just you know, AJ seemed really invested in what we were doing and showed a lot of interest. And I just dropped the question. I was like, what are we doing? How are we going to do this out there? What, like, are you on or what? So we took a flight out and, yeah, bro, we signed some contracts. And
what a crazy full circle moment, bro. Because I know
bro.
I was rocking it all the time back in the day, bro. I remember going to the Crooks store when I went to America first time, 2012, and being like, this place is mad, still coming back. And also the quality of Crooks back then was crazy too, bro. I was still wearing that. But to come around and then have guys who are working with you is crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's gone full circle, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Love it, bro.
It's gone full circle.
Shout out AJ, bro.
Yeah. I'm imagining you just on Karma Loop using a discount code for 70 tank tops.
Yeah, bro. I was dropping like 5-10 grand at a time, trying to get as cheap as I can, like if there was discount codes and shit like that. Yeah.
How times have changed since
I
those
ended up getting
bro.
an account. I did get an account.
It just took you some time.
But it just took me some time, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hustle was there, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Karma Loop, Moose Limited, all those websites.
Yeah, Moose Limited. Remember that one?
Yeah.
You had to make it. So you had to make it off Moose Limited. That was like university to get to Karma. Did you know that? It was brand university.
Yeah.
If you had a certain sell-through rate on Moose Limited, then you got plugged
move
up
around.
into Karma Loop. No, Moose Limited, Casbah. Remember
Oh,
Casbah? Remember Casbah?
Yeah.
It was Casbah and then Karma Loop.
Did anyone else use Dr. J's? 'Cause
Dr. J's, yeah.
Dr.
I
I used
J's
to
was
get all
one
my
thing I had
ASICs
for-
from there, bro.
Yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
bro.
Karma Loop is the final
OG.
boss.
Yeah, it
The
was,
final
bro.
boss.
And obviously over in the States, that's where a lot of it comes from, a mecca for streetwear, sportswear, this and that. So how do you think that Geedup is going to differentiate itself in, such a bigger market?
Easily, because the market's so saturated, bro. There's a lot going on out in the US, especially Los Angeles. So sticking to what we are, which is an Australian Sydney streetwear label. Not trying to, fit into their colour palettes, not trying to fit into their oversized hoodies, not trying to do their baggy jeans, not doing none of that. Staying apologetically us, and whoever fucks with it. In the country of 360 million people, you only need 0.5% to fuck with it, and you're on. You know what I mean? So I'm not going over there trying to be fear of God. I'm not going over there trying to be Kith. I'm not going over there trying to be, supreme. I'm just doing us. You know what I mean? Against some of my advice given to me, AJ would like to see some more US influenced styles, but I'll push back on that, bro, because they love Aussies out there. So I'm just going to stay us, bro. I'm going to stay unapologetically us, stay in our lane. And yeah, I'm not conforming to the norm, so to speak, with oversized brown palettes and neutral palettes and things like that, all that Yeezy shit. It's not for us.
100.
Yeah, fair point, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, man, we know everyone loves the big team logo hoodies. Obviously, that's number one. Obviously, you got to love it yourself because of what it's done for the brand.
Yeah, bro.
Other than the team logo hoodie, what would you say is your favorite item that you've ever done? Do you have a favorite item?
Yeah, bro. The Letterman jacket we just released.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's number one?
Just take a bit nostalgic for me. One of our first outerwear pieces was a Letterman jacket, 100% woolen body, cowhide leather sleeves. We hadn't done one since, and we had the chance to. So we put a lot of work into that jacket, bro. There's a lot of details, a lot of custom lining, custom hardware, chenille patches all over it. It's super heavy. Like, that's probably my favourite to date, man.
Beautiful, bro. On
Yeah.
the flip side, is there anything you've ever made, looked back and went, why the fuck did I make that, bro?
All the fucking time, pre-2017. Pre-2017, bro, I'll go through the
Okay.
Shopify data and just go, ugh, the fuck was that?
Yeah.
There's some things I've printed to a T-shirt. I'm like, how did I get away with that? There was
Like
I
what?
printed
You talking phrases? You
from the
talking-
murder capital where we murder for capital.
Crazy.
Bring it back.
Like, how did I get away with that?
You done
No
it, bro.
wonder why they don't like me. You know what I mean? No wonder why they still sniff around.
You got to cause a bit of a ruckus, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I did see when I was scrolling your Instagram yesterday, having a look for stuff, that paint can, spray can Geedup thing was actually back from
It's our
2012.
first drop.
It was your first drop.
2011, bro.
There
yeah.
you go, bro. You brought it back.
Brought it back.
Obviously, new and improved.
Yeah,
New and improved fit.
New and improved
Fit
fit.
to bring back.
Yeah, some embroidery and stuff, yeah.
Speaking of your favorite stuff, though, bro, some of my favorite stuff to see through Geedup, shout out yourself, shout out the creative team, shout out Creasy, is the campaign videos, man.
Yeah.
You do some crazy shit. You've done some chill shit that just works, and you've done some crazy things, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite campaign that you've ever done, or one that has like a crazy story to it that you're like, nah, that's a memorable moment for us?
They're all pretty fucking crazy, bro, to be honest with you. The ideas that come to, like, that I come up with, the boys just shake their head at me. Like, we've got a goat and a goat eye sculpture being carved at the moment for the campaign in 2 days in Queenstown. So they're always pretty exciting, bro, and the guys do a really good job to string them together. I don't have a favourite because of the grand nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
My favourite is the first one we did, which was there's two really. When we started doing that style of campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the camels. The camels up in Newcastle,
Oh,
so it looked like we're in the
yeah.
Sahara Desert sort of thing, or maybe over in Dubai. That really flipped the script for us. But prior to that, there was one. Do you remember the one I was just walking into the chop shop, started a Lamborghini, and there was a guy there with an angled rhino throwing sparks, and it was
Simple,
just very
yeah,
simple,
worked,
bro.
bro.
And it hit, and that just that was a real pivot for us. I was like, okay, we're on here. So they're my favourites, bro, just because of the path that set us on. You know,
That's
and they're
right.
actually a product of ours now. Yeah, we don't monetize them; they don't have a price tag on them, but people fucking love to see it. You know,
Without doubt.
shareable content. So it's actually part of the catalog. So
Who comes up with all the ideas behind it?
I do, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like it, bro.
Creative director. I mean, the guys have the input. I can't
Of course.
take all credit, but yeah, 80% of that, 90% of that, it comes from my desk. We'll spend a week chopping it up, mapping the whole thing out, and I'll get there and be like, "Crazy, don't worry about that. Not happening. We're not doing that. We're doing this."
I gotta say, my favorite, just for impact reasons, that Geedup helicopter you had, bro.
Yeah,
that was
yeah, that was a good one, bro.
That was crazy
That
to
actually,
see.
that probably went most viral. Instagram took that down.
why?
We've got like 20,000 comments and like 80,000 likes in like 7 minutes or something like that.
Crazy.
I don't know if it broke the algorithm. I don't know what
Insta.
happened, but it just went AWOL, and then they took it down.
True.
Yeah, we had to repost it. It still did well, but
Yeah, heck
with its insights. Yeah.
I remember back in the day you had this must be 2012 or 2013. You had one with it was like a Cadillac kind of car, and
Yeah.
Johnny Pimples was in it.
Yes! Down at Bondi at the basketball courts. Yeah, bro. Is he still about?
He's in.
I don't know. He was
down in Melbourne, bro. Used to be a real good mate of mine, bro. I haven't
right.
spoke to him in years. He moved to
Yeah.
Melbourne. He's just doing his thing, I think.
Yeah, right, man. Yeah,
Still
fuck, I
driving
remember that.
Cadillac/Lincolns, whatever he
Yeah,
has.
yeah. Fuck, I forgot about that shoot.
Yeah.
Who else was it? My mate Mitch with tattoos all over him. I don't know who the girls were, but even that product, bro, the product we're releasing, like, I should have been slapped for that.
It was a baseball tee, I think.
Terrible.
I remember these tees, bro.
It was straight out of
Remember the
they
photos?
were out of India.
What was the release party he did at King's Cross? Because I remember being in the car with Johnny when he brought his car to King's Cross one day, bro. Was that
Yeah,
just
we-
a release party?
Yeah, we did a few parties at the back room, bro. Me and TK have been friends for years, and TK used to manage the back room.
That's how I know him, bro. We were seeing fucking house and dubstep shows at
Yeah.
the back room. They used to host a lot of DJs back there.
Yeah.
Hectic.
Johnny Pimples. Fuck, I forgot about that whole
Bro,
thing.
back and half. How can you forget that face, bro? Those
Shit.
tattoos go crazy.
I haven't seen him since like a Hate Breed show in 2000,
Yeah, man.
2016.
Shout out,
or
Johnny,
something.
if you're somehow
Shout
come
out him
across
if
this,
he's
bro.
around. Yeah. On a more serious note, Paco, Geedup teamed up with Comfy Pathways recently.
Yep.
If anyone doesn't know, it's an organization that helps previously incarcerated people kind of reintegrate into society.
The prevention as well, yeah.
Yeah. So how is it kind of working with them and doing something, the brand is community driven, but I think this is like another level of that,
Yeah, bro. I've always kind of had this want to be a philanthropist, and I think one day I will be that 100% of my time. But in the meantime, aligning with people doing the work and working towards the change I want to see, that I don't actually have the time to push myself. So when I seen the work Joe was doing from Confit, I've been watching for a while, bro. Just it hit close to home for me, Again, all my best mates either been locked up or murdered back in the day. It hit home to me. I was like, you know what, these kids very rarely choose to be set on that path. It's just lack of guidance, lack of sense of identity, and something to belong to. So when I seen the work Joe was doing, I was like, oh, I've got to get behind that, man. I really got to get behind that. So, yeah, that one's close to home for me. Yeah.
And I guess reflecting on your own story, like you just mentioned, do you think that if there was something like Comfy Pathways around when you were young, that you mentioned it took a couple of years for you to turn around, do you think it would have kind of happened faster if there was
I was far too fucking arrogant, bro, so it probably wouldn't have helped me. And that was to my own detriment. You know what I mean? You couldn't tell me nothing. You just couldn't tell me nothing. If I had done jail when I was younger, I think I probably would have, heard them out, and it would have planted a seed a lot sooner for me. I was blessed enough not to ever do jail, bro. So, I can't really answer the question because conflict is for the incarcerated youth. And I've actually never done any jail. But, yeah.
Shout out to Confy Pathways. Everyone go check them out and the work they're doing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's a don. Joe's a don.
shout out, bro. Well, I saw on your Instagram yesterday on your birthday post, whenever you posted this one, you said it was a bit more quieter than usual. No
Yeah, bro.
poison, spent it with your daughter.
Yeah.
Bro, how has that changed your life? Seeing her come along, seeing her grow, being able to kick back at home on your birthdays, man. Like, what has it done to change your life in that aspect, your personal life aspect?
Gave me a lot more purpose, bro. Gave me a lot more purpose. And I think that's one thing that a lot of men are missing, is purpose. And as soon as you find it, I think a lot will turn around. Well, I also said the same thing. You can either lean into parenthood or run from it. And I think if you lean into it, fucking changes everything, bro. So yeah, this year, man, I don't want to be one of those people, but I chose to be sober at the start of the year, and will be for the rest of my days now. So it was my first birthday where I wasn't burying my face in a bowl of cocaine and not sleeping for 3 days. So
You sober across the board?
yeah, no alcohol, no drugs.
Damn, good effort,
Hey,
bro.
hectic. Well done, man.
Good effort, bro.
Yeah. So no, it changed everything, bro. I made that decision for Harper as well. Harper's getting of the age now where she can start to see habits, and maybe those habits of mine could influence hers later on in life. So I made the decision and started the year to make some big changes, and it was nice, bro. I didn't see anyone. I actually got up and mowed the lawns, did my man chores, which was fulfilling, very fulfilling. I like doing that type of thing. Me and Harper went and got a foot massage. She picked a cake for me, a pink ice cream cake, and it was just wholesome, bro. And I haven't done that ever out of 34 years of my existence.
That's a grown man's birthday right
Yeah,
there, bro.
bro.
You got your head on straight right now, bro.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Harper too. Ice cream cakes, underrated. Too many people just going for the sponge. You need that.
No,
you know
bro,
what I
they're
mean?
great.
Like-
This was just a strawberry one. I would have liked chocolate, but ice cream cake for the win, bro. For sure.
It's a final couple of things here, bro. Do you have any advice? Because you're going to have people listening right now who are at home starting or thinking about starting up their own streetwear brand. Do you have any advice, just a quick little thing that you could give to them?
Yeah, man, when it comes to business, you just got to start. Just fucking start. I say it all the time. Just start. There's no amount you can learn from a book or a course that you're not going to learn if you just jump straight into the deep end. Outside of that, bro, just live and love fearlessly. Do everything with love and without fear. And if you can do that, you'll be on the right path, bro.
Hectic, man.
Yeah.
And lastly, what are we looking forward to in the future, bro, for Paco, for Geedup, whether it's your personalised for Geedup? What do we got coming, bro?
Man, I've got a lot on, man. I've got a lot on. Some really big things like I've got a lot of businesses outside of Geedup. I've got development sites. I've got an investment fund I'm involved in. So there's a lot happening, bro. There's a lot happening. It's one thing to grow a brand vertically. I'm looking to grow horizontally now, which is essentially buying the ecosystem to the e-com space. So over the next 12 months, I'll be over in China looking to buy my own factories. I'll be looking to buy my own ad agencies, looking to buy my own 3PL company and things like that. So by the end of 2025, I'd like to have my 3 stores open and pretty much own 80% of the ecosystem to the e-com space.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm keen to see it happen, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
keen to
yeah.
see and watch happen,
Yeah,
bro. It's cool
yeah.
seeing everything you've done from the start turning
I
into what
appreciate
it
it,
is,
man.
man. All right, that's it, bro. Appreciate
Thanks
you coming
for
through.
having me, brother.
Hey, it's
Appreciate it.
Paco. It's 24 Karat Kev. It's your boy Wings. Let's take flight. We out.